Hello everyone, it's your fairy godmother Mint, and welcome back to the Mint Coven. It has been a while since I've seen you. I'm so glad you're here. My phone is dead. I have a new phone, so now I can continue to make videos for you all. I thought that today we would do a nice little cleanse and refresh. I don't know about you, but the past 2 weeks have been wild in the Minty household. Let me tell you, it has just been wild. Yule has gone back to school, phone broke, and my cats keep digging up my plants, and it has been just a wild fiasco of really crazy, stressful things going on. But it's a new month, it's a new week, and so I just want to cleanse, refresh, remove, and pull some cards for the coming week and just kind of reset. So to start that off, I have a little bit of nature content for you. I've been spending a lot of time in the forest trying to release a lot of stress. I did have a doctor's appointment, and the doctor confirmed that my blood pressure was a little high, which I don't like, and it's not the first time we've gone through that. Now I'm starting a plan to keep it low, but high blood pressure does run in my family, so that makes me, kind of snap into action. So I've been doing lots and lots of just sitting outside in nature and just being present and chilling out. People talk about being present all the time, and I feel like it's become one of those like spiritual jargon where it's like being present and just being in the now. But what that really means to me is actually paying attention to what's around me and not just being in my head. You know what I mean? Actually looking around at the scenery and noticing the different colors and the different life that's around me, the trees, the forest, the water, the stones, the rocks, bugs, like whatever is around me. I'm actually paying attention to those things, all those sounds, instead of just like, daydreaming or worrying about something and just like being in my head over and over again. So being present is actually paying attention to and being aware of my surroundings and how they affect me, how I affect them, and just like, checking out the cool world we live on. So here's some nature footage for me doing that. And while you're watching, just try to also be present with the scenery and listen to the sounds of the water and just look at the beautiful leaves on the trees and the small little buds of moss and things that are growing, and just pay attention to those things and release any stress that you have from this weekend, from last week. Let that flow right into the screen and into the water and out into the Delaware River or wherever the water is going, and just kind of release and relax. And when we come back from that, I'll pull some cards for us for the week. Isn't that nice? Gosh, I love being out there, and I am so guilty of staying out there way longer than I intend to. And I always feel really lucky when I get to do that. I always feel really lucky, and I get super excited when I see like mushrooms or any like new little buds sprouting, or any new leaves on trees or new leaves on plants. It just makes me feel this sense of hope and of vitality, seeing things grow. So I hope you enjoyed that little bit of footage. And now I'm going to pull some cards for us just to give us a general idea of some things to look out for this week, some messages that might just help us along the week if there's anything that we run into where we feel kind of stuck. Hopefully one of these messages will resonate and will kind of pop up in your brain when that occurrence happens. So I'm just going to be asking the universe for some general messages for us to look out for in our lives this week, and maybe a little bit of insight on how to handle anything that is presented to us. So let's go. So the first card that I pulled is the Six of Sky reverse, which is also our Six of Swords reverse. Can you see that? This is a great one, actually. This is a card that speaks to going through the shit to get to the castle. Does that even make any sense? It makes sense. So it speaks to having a great deal of change being forced upon you. Change that comes into your life, especially in those times when you know you should change. You know that there are habits that you need to change and you've been thinking about changing, but you haven't been doing anything to actually make that change happen. You know what I mean? Like you're like, oh, I really need to do this, but you just don't do it. This is a card that's like, okay, your procrastination is over. This is going to happen to you now. This is going to happen to you in a way that is being forced upon you instead of in a way that you wanted it to because you waited too long. So this is a big change, but at the end of this change, at the end of this tumultuous, situation that's going to happen, we're going to encounter a higher point of being. You're going to be smarter, you're going to be wiser, you're going to be stronger, you're going to have more confidence, you're going to see that everything that you went through was worth it, and that it gave you a great deal of insight into who you should be and what you should be doing. So get ready for that. Get ready for a bit of a bomb to drop, because it has been sitting over your head for so long and you didn't take care of it, and now it's being taken care of. You know what I'm saying? The next one I pulled is the Lovers card reversed. The Lovers reversed. All right. So we all know what the Lovers reversed means for us in many different situations. It can mean infidelity. It can mean that there are wandering eyes, wandering hands, wandering hearts away from your union, of course, any relationship. It can be any kind of relationship. It can be a friendship. It can be a very close paternal. It's not the word I'm looking for. What is the word? Platonic. Platonic relationship where there are some trust issues, where someone is betraying your trust in a specific manner. So there's that meaning. There's also the meaning that you are not aligned. You're not aligned with yourself. You're not aligned with your partner. You're not aligned with your life. There are things that you want to do differently that you're not doing differently. There's so much procrastination already being pulled up in these cards. If there are things that you want to do differently, there are ideas that you have that are different than someone else's, and you need to make that known, because it is something that's going to rip at the seams of your relationship jacket. You know what I'm saying? It's something that's going to cause an issue for you. When you're not speaking your truth, when you're not doing what you want, when you're not living authentically every moment, every chance that you can, it creates friction in yourself. It creates bitterness. It creates like those little stones of guilt and of anger in your body, because you don't feel like you're truly expressing who you are. And when you feel like that, when it comes to other people, when you feel like you can't express who you are to other people, that's an issue. That's a misalignment. That is a puzzle piece that's being forced into a spot that it's not supposed to go into. You know what I'm saying? So I always say, you know what I'm saying a lot. I'm from Philly. I'm sorry. So, yeah, this is a card that is saying that you have to reevaluate what you're doing with your life. You have to reevaluate who the people are in your life. You have to reevaluate what you're doing on a daily basis and decide whether or not that's actually working. Because if it's not working, you need to take care of it. And the third card that I pulled for us is the Consequences card, Upright. This is our Justice card, Upright. This is a good card to get no matter what. This is a really wonderful card to get, especially after pulling those other two cards where we're just like, sorry, I'm sitting sideways, and we turn toward you. We turn toward you, my love. Other cards are like, what are you doing? Why aren't you taking care of this? Why aren't you paying attention to things you need to pay attention to? This card is saying, once you start working on those things, once you start aligning yourself with your purpose again, you will have a clear conscience. Things will move back into their place again. Justice is when things come back into balance, when things are moving in the direction that they're supposed to be moving in, and you receive rewards, you receive knowledge, you receive the truth. So you're working on getting yourself back into that balance where you are living your truth, where you are speaking your truth, where that truth is coming back to you, and when things are working out for the better instead of being all jumbled and mismatched and you know, out of sync, out of whack. It's a really good card to have after pulling those other two cards. So let's take care of the things that we need to take care of this week. Let's put things into perspective for ourselves and make sure that we're working on cultivating those good relationships in our lives and taking care of the people that we love and who care about us, and not giving our energy and our time and our lovely, beautiful, emotional heart to anyone or anything that is going to step on it and destroy it and sweep it under the rug and not take care of it, okay? You can take care of yourself by learning about who is important and who is good to have in your life. It's very important. And this is not only with people, it's also with how you're spending your time. How are you spending your time? Are you working towards something that's going to enrich your life? Or are you working towards something that is going to bring you greater security and greater love and greater satisfaction in your life? Those are really, really important. And it's important to continue to reevaluate our situation and make sure that we are truly happy. Because if you are not truly happy and if you're not working toward that happiness, what are you doing? Existing is something that we have to do sometimes, unfortunately, but that can't be our entire state. Our state can't be just existing day to day. At some point you have to start living, and you have to start feeling like the things that you're doing are bringing you satisfaction. Not just like, you know, joy and like, you know, frivolity and like rolling around happy, giggling, eating candy. Are you satisfied with where you are? Are you satisfied with what you're doing? If not, if you're not aligned, you have misalignment going on in your life and your relationships, then you have to shift that. You have to decide what you're going to do to shift that. It's important. It's important to you. It's important to your children. It's important to everyone, because we all follow examples. We're all always following examples. So we want to make sure that we're giving a good example to others that are looking to us, because no matter what you do, no matter what position you're in, someone is looking at you for an example. So be the happiest you can be. Welcome to my anime channel. No, but seriously. Let's work on those things for ourselves. Let's work on our procrastination. Let's work on setting tangible goals. Let's work on being the best that we can be. Let's pull a crystal for this week. Let's see what crystal will help us. Blue calcite. Blue calcite, that calming, loving communication stone. That is very good indeed. Now, blue calcite is a calming, loving, gentle stone indeed. Very beautiful, very lovely. One of my favorites. You know I love the calcites. They're so nice. Blue calcite is all about emotional healing, emotional maturity, and understanding when you should speak and when you should zip it. It's about being able to understand when it's good to speak, when it's good to speak up, when to say what's on your mind, and when to allow someone else the space to speak and to be understood as well. And it is important to let yourself be known, be seen, and be heard, and to allow the other person or the other situation to present itself as well, so that you're equal, so that there's balance, which is something else that came up for us in the reading. Balance, getting back to that balance. So blue calcite is wonderful for that. If you don't have blue calcite, just think about and remember these aspects, the aspects of blue calcite that we are working with this week: being calm and open, being emotionally mature, being very communicative and understanding, and kind of letting your heart be softened in a way that you are open to giving and open to receiving information and, you know, people's feelings, and really just having a nice open conversation instead of having a one-sided conversation. Okay? I love blue calcite. Okay, my darlings, I'm going to go because Yule is hungry. Time to cook him some food. And I will have a few videos for you this week. Now that I have a new phone, I will be able to make more videos again. That was so frustrating. My phone was just like, I couldn't push it's gone. So if you like videos like this, pull it up. My husband's calling me. Goodbye, everyone. Subscribe.